basic. The installation was super easy. You know, sharing with you guys that. Yo, that's crazy! Installing it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to continue working on our engine bay. We're going to be swapping out our fuel rail to a beautiful piece from Acuity Instruments. It's going to be anodized red, which is going to blend in nicely with our oil cap. So let's go ahead and start this process. As I said in the beginning of the video, we're going to start working on our fuel rail right here, which looks great. It's a flat black kind of finish, and I want to go ahead and blend in nicely with my oil cap, so I'm gonna try a different color. We have the parts right here from Acuity Instruments. We're also gonna swap out our pressure gauge, which is right here. This is gonna be a different color, and it's gonna blend in nicely with our valve cover, believe it or not. But we have our fittings right here, which allow you to, you know, adapt to the fuel rail in either end or in the center, so you definitely have some versatility over here. This one right here is satin red anodized finish, but they do have different options for you guys, so if you really want to change your theme color or whatnot, they definitely got you covered. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and unbox these pieces and show you guys what's all about. Here, let's start off with the main accessory right here, which is the fuel rail. We're gonna open it up, and as always, guys, beautiful packaging from Acuity Instruments. I love the boxes because they have like a satin finish to them. It feels really nice on the hand. So let's go ahead and take this beauty out of the box. Super high-end stuff. Check that out. Wow. See if there's anything else in the box. Just a little bit of a protecting foam. Always happy to see that. We have some hardware included, which is awesome. You don't have to reuse the stock stuff. Let's flip this over so you guys can see it better. Nice presentation. I really like what I'm seeing right here. And let's stick it out of here real quick. Wow. And right off the bat, guys, I just want to show you guys all this writing right here. It's actually all the tools that you need in order to get this job done. And they're thinking for you, which is awesome. They're not only designing so many like beautiful parts that actually are very functional and very safe, but also teaching you how to use the proper tools and also the right OEM parts. You can have the part number, they put it in there for you, and the torque specs as well. Let's go ahead and crack open the fuel pressure gauge. Like I said, guys, this is gonna match my valve cover. These come in different colors, and as always, I'm gonna put the link in the description below so you can see it. Check this out, guys. Look at that beautiful gauge. This has a nice like a silver, almost white background with the red accent needle right there. So let's go ahead and move on to our fittings. This is the packaging right there. Very nicely done. These are universal, so if you're doing like a custom setup of anything, they have these available on their website. And right off the bat, I noticed something. The weight is very light. The design is kind of unique. I've never seen any fittings like this. It's hollow in the bottom, so they're thinking about weight, right? So they're trying to minimize any added weight to the car while retaining some structural rigidity. So, and another touch that I kind of see, I don't know if you guys can see that in camera, but it says Acuity, which is edged or lasered engraved into the aluminum, and that's just beautiful. Like, they're not just grabbing like parts off the bin, they are also customizing even the plugs. This one is the adapter where the fuel rail is actually going to plug into. And check this out. Once again, the theme throughout the whole lineup with the Acuity engraved into it. Very light, once again, taper finish in the inside. If you grab this in your hands, and you're gonna see for yourself what I'm talking about, but that's beautiful right there. But there you guys have it, all the parts right here. Actually, before I get too far, I want to go back to the fuel rail because I want to point something out. You're going to notice once you remove your stock fuel rail, it's going to have some clips. Those clips are holding the injectors in place, and this fuel rail right here retains that functionality. So I'm glad that they're retaining that OEM spec type of installation. I tip my hat to you guys at Acuity for designing very nice parts and thinking above and beyond. But enough of this, guys. Let's go ahead and jump into the installation part of this, and let's keep on moving. And we're gonna start assembling this fuel rail. We're gonna start off with a 7/8 deep socket. You're gonna need it for our fittings. You're gonna need an 11 millimeter wrench for the fuel gauge. As you can see, it has a fitting here that you can tighten it up with. These bolts are to mount our fuel rail. Don't need them right now, but we do have a plug right here which is optional, whether you opt in for a pressure gauge or not. The fuel rail does come with a plug, so you can either use this or you can buy one of these and install it right here. Either way, it's up to you. As far as the fittings go here, you have various options. So these plugs can go in either port. You have 3 ports, here, here, and here. But our fuel line actually comes in the center of our manifold. So we're gonna go ahead and put our fitting right here. But you also have the option of putting it here or here depending on your setup. This particular setup, we're gonna go ahead and plug both ends just like that. You have that O-ring right there, so it's perfectly sealed. We're gonna tighten it up in just a second, but we're gonna plug in the other side as well. Next up, we're going to install our pressure gauge. So this one doesn't have an O-ring, so I recommend you guys to actually get a Honda Bond and put a little bit on there, or some sort of sealant that blocks the fuel from escaping through there. Let's install it. As you can see right there in the threads, we have the sealant, and you're going to take your 11 millimeter wrench and get it nice and tight. So now our gauge is nice and tight, it's ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and wipe off our excess sealant there. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and tighten up all our fittings right here. Once again, you need a 7/8 socket. As you can see, the fuel rail is fully assembled. I'm gonna go ahead and remove my other fuel rail and replace it with this one. Bam, guys, check that out. Wow, that completely set off the entire engine bay. Woo! I absolutely love it. One, it matches my motor mounts as well. Man, look at that theme though. The fuel rail with the white background right there matching very nicely with my valve cover. Oh my goodness. I love the bolts right here as well, and it's sunk in, so it's like flush. Those ends look really cool too. I can't stress enough how much of a breeze that installation was. For those of you that have the OEM fuel line, you're gonna have a longer fitting on this end, and you can just plug in right here. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the installation of the Acuity fuel rail. For you guys, once again, that have the OEM fuel line, they do sell a fitting that plugs right in, just like OEM, so no worries about that. Make sure you hit up acuityinstruments.com and copy one of these beautiful fuel rails. They're gonna have a bunch of colors for you guys to choose from. I'm really loving this setup, guys. I can't stress it enough. It's really paying tribute to the Type R with the white, black, and the red. So everything's blending in nicely, and I can't wait to continue making videos to show you guys how I'm gonna clean up this engine bay even further. I really appreciate you guys tuning in and watching my videos, so make sure you leave a comment below. I really would like to hear your input, and make sure you let me know what kind of products you would like to see in the future from Acuity Instruments. Any of these parts, make sure you visit acuityinstruments.com, and for any Type R parts, make sure you hit us up at DC5rparts.com. As always guys, thank you so much for watching, and until the next one, peace.
My